What is up, everyone, and welcome back to Full-Time Fans. That's right, I'm back and we are cranking out some more content. So today I want to talk to you about Spider-Man PS4. Now, as many of you might know, here on the channel we are big fans of Spider-Man PS4, and we even live streamed our first kind of playthrough of it, and we live streamed it some more on the channel. You can go check those out, it's pretty great. But we're not actually talking about the actual game or reviewing that in any way today. No, I am here to talk to you about the incredible shit show that went down on Twitter and even the subreddit Spider-Man PS4, and the craziness that went on with that. And to start with, we kind of have to break it down a little bit further into fans and kind of categorize fans. Now, I'm going to be doing a lot of generalization here, so just know being a fan is a spectrum, and you have lots of things and categories, but to simplify it, we're just going to break it down into 3 groups. So when most people would pick up a thing they like, let's say Spider-Man PS4. So yeah, you know, somebody goes into their local Best Buy or GameStop and they pick up a copy of Spider-Man PS4 because, you know, it's the new Spider-Man game. They heard it's really good, they play through it, and they're like, man, that was really fun. And that's about it. I mean, they may play it through it 1 or 2 more times, you know, pick up the DLC, but that's really about as far as it goes. Let's call these people casual fans, or as various internet forums like to dub them, normies. The second group, let's call, well, passionate fans. These are your nerds, your Whovians, your Trekkies, etc. They love their fandom and a lot of times positively rally around a piece of media. You see them on YouTube, Twitter, Reddit, etc. discussing fan theories, sharing fan art, and deconstructing and analyzing their favorite piece of media. These are the people you see posting 1,000 screenshots a day of Spider-Man PS4, discussing fan theories of the sequel, and breaking down where Insomniac's version of the webhead ranks up against other various adaptations of him. But these fans can get a bad rep. Now sure, if you're the kind of guy who only plays GTA 5 and spends the rest of your life actively avoiding anything fandom related, first of all, what are you doing on this channel? Secondly, you can just instantly dismiss all of these passionate fans in your mind altogether. But even the aforementioned casual fan can have a mostly negative view of the passionate fan, and there's a reason for that. Which brings us to the third group I like to call,
"Where are the toxins? Are you listening, you stupid little garbage person? We're what got removed!"
Okay, so probably the best way to explain the subcategory of fans is with an example. An example from real life. An example being the shit that went down with the Raimi suit in Spider-Man PS4. So, let me set the scene. Spider-Man 2 is still hailed as the best Spider-Man movie of all time. I personally think it's okay, it does some good things, and it does some bad things, but I can understand why it holds a special place in the hearts of fans, especially for Spidey gamers, as Spider-Man 2, the movie tie-in game, was arguably one of the best Spider-Man games before Spider-Man PS4 swung in. So even from the very announcement of Spider-Man PS4, there were already people imagining whipping around New York City in the Raimi suit, or as I like to call it, the Maguire attire, because, you know, Sam Raimi, he didn't design the suit, and he never wore the suit, so why would you call it the Raimi suit? It's not his suit. Then it was revealed that there would indeed be alt costumes, and not only that, but your alt costume of choice would appear in the cutscenes, and Raimi fans were pretty excited.
Oh boy, yeah.
But then the game came out, and no Maguire attire to be found. Fans were upset and frustrated. Then the first DLC came out, and again, no attire of Maguire. Then the second DLC came out, and well, these fans got pretty toxic. They would shit on any suit that was real for the DLC just because it wasn't the silver-webbed suit they cherished. It was around this time that I started becoming more active on Twitter. And because 2018 was such a great year for Spider-Man, I followed a lot of Spider-Man fans, and boy oh boy, shit got crazy. People were accusing Insomniac of not listening to fans and purposely not putting the suit in the game, sending them death threats, crying and yelling about a skin in a video game. Now, I consider myself a passionate fan, and I love all the alternate suits in Spider-Man PS4, and I am one of those people who constantly is posting my photo mode screenshots on Twitter, and I love alternate suits, so if I really loved the Raimi suit, which I don't really. It's okay. I'm glad it's in the game for nostalgia reasons now. But I can understand being a little upset. But this takes it too far. So anyway, the Silver Lining DLC suit lineup was announced, and shit really hit the fan. And I guess some shady shit went down on Spider-Man PS4 subreddit, where like any post about the Raimi suits were banned, I guess. I wasn't really active in there at that time. I was pretty tired of all this. And also, Insomniac's official Twitter tweeted this: "Listening doesn't mean we will always do what people tell us to. We hear you. Hearing doesn't mean we will always act or follow." And of course, James Stevenson, the game's community director, also took to Twitter, seemingly being fed up with what is now dubbed the Raimi Army, and said many things, including, "Passionate is not an excuse for harassment. Having paid for a piece of software or service does not entitle you to be a jerk. You are not always right." But yeah, just before the Silver Lining DLC came out, it was announced that a free update was available for Spider-Man PS4 that, amongst other things, gave players the web suit. The suit that they had all been waiting for. The Maguire attire. And it was also made known that including the suit in the game was a long process, seemingly because they had to go through Marvel Games and Columbia Pictures to get the rights to the suit, which, contrary to what the Raimi Army would have you believe, proves Insomniac really does care about its fans. And it kind of makes all these people seem very much like children throwing a tantrum because their mother wouldn't get them an action figure they really wanted for Christmas, only to find out it was because it was their Christmas present. Which is where the question of this video comes in. Should Mother Insomniac have returned the action figure? Should we have gotten the Maguire attire after all the Raimi Army pulled? Now, of course I can't prove this, but I would say that these people were a loud, vocal minority. I'd say most Spider-Man PS4 fans either fall into the casual or the passionate fans category. Of course, the loud, obnoxious people, however small in number, are going to seem like the majority because they stir the pot, they create controversy, and that gets people talking, and then you get statements like the Spider-Man PS4 community is the most toxic fandom. When in reality, most fans are too busy lining up that perfect shot in photo mode or discussing fan theories to be bothered to yell and scream at the devs for not putting their favorite suit in the game. So, why should they suffer? In my opinion, I don't think they should. But unfortunately, it's not that simple. You see, if you give that screaming child that action figure for Christmas, even if you had planned to do so in like July, he still might think his tantrum was what got him the toy. And he decides in the future if he wants something, that's a pretty good way to go about it. And unfortunately, that's kind of the reaction we're seeing from the Raimi Army. They're taking credit for this, even though, as Insomniac has repeatedly said, this was planned. Lots of strings were pulled, and it was really a long process to get this in the game. So, what's the answer? I honestly don't know. So, I'll leave it to you guys. Should the majority suffer for the vocal minority? Does putting the suit in the game simply make toxic fans think that their behavior will get them the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit? Discuss in the comments below. And as always, we're your friends, not your boss. Thanks for watching. But your alternate costume of choice would appear in the cutscene. Wow, I just hit puberty during that take.